the future is to do the architecture center of excellence. Now that would mean several things, not just the people, but the practice, but the tools, but the metrics and repository and so on. So typically when you look at the COE, architecture COE, we're talking about several activities: defining ROI for investment and defining value measurements, doing assessment of the systems that you have, looking at the team and the skills training, selection of framework, selection of artifacts which are required for these framework, setting up the repository, setting up and knowing different representations and so on, different process, architecture-centric process, and translating views and translation. I'm going to few things which I want you to start look at a little bit more closely. This one and so as this one. Now what you can see here, these two, is why this is very important, and of course this. And now why these are important, because if I go back to the slide which I was showing you earlier, right, I was showing you different kinds of architects for one single department, which I later on tried to map it to multiple departments, right? So if you remember this slide, right, so what you can see here now is, in this slide, we need different kinds of models, right? And what you can see here is the different kinds of models that we're talking about here, right? So not only that, we also need different kinds of artifacts for different kinds of stakeholder, right? So not only we require these different kinds of models, which is basically create different kinds of artifacts, and then that means artifacts for each of the stakeholder, right? And then we also need translation from one kind of model to the another kind of model to the another kind of model. How do I store these artifacts? How do I store these? So if I go enterprise-wide, now I have 16 different strategy models. I have 50 different system models. Now how do I create a repository of managing all these solution models, all these technology models, right? So then it becomes a pretty complex.